Hey folks, can you believe it is the 16th of September and a week from tomorrow we're going to be going to Nashville and hopefully I'll be seeing a whole bunch of you guys. Welcome back to Money and Politics, and we have some big news, breaking news this afternoon. I suspect a whole lot of you already know about it. HUMBL is just tickets went live this afternoon. So let me go right to the news story here. And as we look at this, it says HUMBL announces the launch of HUMBL Ticket platform. They announced that they announced the platform to provide customers with direct access to lower cost premium seating options across verticals such as sports, college sports, concerts, theater festivals, and more. And I'm trying to think, am I look this way? Am I looking up? No, I'm looking the wrong way. Anyway, by the way, I'm sorry that I haven't had the chance. I'm going to read more of that, but I meant to say I'm sorry I've been just so busy of late. I haven't had a chance to do my updates here, which I try to do when I can every night. And we've had a prolonged stretch here, maybe one of the longest stretches, if not the longest stretch, that I haven't done any of these. So I'm sorry about that. Life interferes with things, and let's go back to the news. Okay, so the good news is that we're seeing now what I had talked about previously, that we're getting this release of information, the accomplishments. I'm going to repeat what I've said many times before. The first 6 months when I was talking about HUMBL, it was about the promise, about what they could do, why they were worth looking at and buying. But that, as I said, in June, between July through the end of this year, 2021, we're going to start looking at HUMBL based upon performance and not promise. And what we are seeing right here is the performance. So we just had the gallery released, the NFT gallery released, a week ago? That's probably what I was talking about, I think, the last time I talked to you. And now here we have the NFT, or the ticket platform is live. HUMBL Ticket customers will receive 100% customer satisfaction or protection on authenticated inventory, safe and secure transactions that encrypt and protect personal data and information. That's a good thing. As well as end-to-end customer support representatives available by phone and email channels. This is great news, and I'm coming to you now. It's after the market is closed. In fact, it's almost 5:30 Central Time, so the market's been closed for about an hour, 2 hours and a half, and we ended the day today at 81.5 cents. This is a 1 month chart. And so folks, I was just telling someone this afternoon, a friend, about HUMBL, as we do, telling him he had not heard of it. And again, a whole lot of people haven't heard of HUMBL yet. And so here we are at 81 cents. If we go back just to where we were, and we're going to go at some point here, we're going to go even higher. But when you look at where we were on September 8th, we got up to a buck. It's hard for me to stop there at about $1.06, which $1.06 from here is 25 cents higher. And 25 cents, if you were to buy a share of HUMBL today at 81 cents, I mean, for heaven's sakes, if it goes back to $1.06, you're making close to 30%. I'm just doing that off the top of my head. You can do the math, but if it took a year to go to a box 6, you'd be making 30%, which is a hell of a rate of return on that. I don't think it's going to take anywhere near a year. Who knows what's going to happen? We could maybe hit it tomorrow. We could hit it in a week. But now we got news coming out when we go to Nashville, for those of us who are going. And again, it would be a week from tomorrow that we'll be in Nashville. And I think everyone's pumped, especially now that we got the big drop on the NFT gallery. Now we got the big drop on the tickets. We've talked so much about how the tickets, and I'm just quoting what Brian Foote has said to us, that they got more margins good margins in the tickets. And now they're really adding to it with this release. And again, that just came out this afternoon about 4:30, about an hour or so ago. And it says that HUMBL Tickets will collaborate with its HUMBL subsidiaries, Monster Creative and Tickeri, to develop immersive digital fan experiences and commemorative, this is an important thing, commemorative ticketing NFTs inside the HUMBL Mobile Pay wallet over time. So that's going to come. HUMBL will also use its HUMBL Nation podcast to showcase artists, athletes, and venues associated with upcoming events in sports, festivals, and music. And in the future, HUMBL Tickets will attempt to migrate primary and secondary ticketing markets into the blockchain via contracts with origin assurance. So there you go. And we will see what this news does to the stock market, the stock price, that will be as we come out tomorrow. And again, here we are, 81.5 cents. On light volume today, we did go up, almost 3.7%, just about. The volume was light, 2.2 million shares, about half of what we normally would be doing, but I think that'll be changing now tomorrow. So that is, I think, good news in HUMBL land, and I'm sure all of us are getting to be a little more stoked and confident. We went through these periods of long quiet periods, kind of a drought of news, but now we got this stuff coming out where we had just about a week ago, as I say, where HUMBL announced the launch of the HUMBL NFT gallery and client services. Now we get HUMBL launch of HUMBL Tickets platform. So we see that the HUMBL team is racking up some accomplishments. And this is the basic infrastructure that HUMBL needs to put together for the sales. Ultimately, it's all about revenues, and ultimately, it's about the bottom line. It's about profits. But to build the revenues, to build those profits, you got to get the infrastructure for tickets, for the NFT sales, for the peer-to-peer, which is still to come. And so we have a work in progress with HUMBL. It is, as we all know, a startup company. We're not even a year old. We are, September now, about 9 months since they merged and had the SPAC last December. And when I look at this stock price that we have going on here, and suddenly I can't find my stock price that I just had. But, when you look at this price, that's 81 cents. Folks, you know what this is? This is just, and I was kind of alluding to this before, this is just kind of a gift here, because this is adjusted for the split. This is like 20 cents. This is like if you had bought last December for 20 cents. So as I started to say earlier when I was talking to a friend this afternoon about HUMBL, and he hadn't known about it, and there's all kinds of people around who would like to invest, but they feel badly because they don't have a whole lot of money. They got kids in school. Maybe they're sending them to private school, as my parents did when I was growing up, went to a parochial school. Yeah, there's never a shortage on demands on your wallet. We all know that. So, but when you can buy an 81-cent share, and I'm not saying, forget about it going to $50, which I said, to my friend, in 5 years, this could be, or less, this could be a $50 stock. It's possible, no guarantees. But for now, let's set that aside. As I just said, if you can buy something for 81 cents and it goes to, $1.05, $1.06, where it was on September 8th, you're going to be up almost 30%. And that's a very, very good annual return. And you might be there, as I say, in short order. So if you have kids, I would recommend that you consider putting some money aside for the kids. It doesn't even have to be when it's 81 cents, but open an account for them and buy some HUMBL. They got a whole lifetime ahead of them of earnings. And you could buy 100 shares for $81 if you can buy it at 81 cents. You could buy right now 100 shares for $81. If you got 2 kids for less than $200. Now, I don't know, maybe tomorrow it opens at 90 cents. I don't know. But think about putting some in, because in the short run, we're going to get, I think, a good rate of return. And in the longer run, you're going to get an unbelievable opportunity to have a company where you're buying it below $1. And this is a company that in 3 to 5 years, who knows where it could be? Could it be at $20? Sure. Could it be at $50? Quite possibly. And in 10 years, where could it be? If they perform the way we who have been cheerleaders for the company, if they perform the way that we think they can, that the opportunity is so great that who knows where this company could be in a reasonable period of time. Let me go this over. I wanted to go to, there's my email. It's hard to be doing this. Sometimes you hit the wrong button. And there's on Twitter if you want to follow me. Okay? But that said, folks, by the way, if you haven't subscribed, and please do. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm sorry that I haven't been putting out some of the videos. From time to time, I get busy. And there's been a lot going on in the last couple of days on the political side, both with Afghanistan, as we all know. There's been some stuff going on here in Illinois, passing an energy bill. And I would also, by the way, before I close out, caution you to pay attention. I'll do something probably on this where I really haven't done much on the political side, but one thing you need to pay attention to or be aware of is what's going on with China. China's growing military, China putting money into growing a much larger navy, trying to control the commerce going through the South China Sea, which is a choke point for trade going to and from Asia. And China's trying to say that's their purview and that other nations have to get China's permission, which is wrong. So what just came out last night with the president meeting with Boris Johnson via video conferencing and Prime Minister Morris down in Australia, that there is a new defense pact. And so the United States and Great Britain and Australia are working together to make Australia stronger militarily to counter this growing Chinese threat in the South Pacific. So, as I said, maybe I might do a story on that. It's certainly, I think it's needed that the Allied forces stand up and send a message to China saying, look, don't go there, because we're not going to sit here and just allow you to close down the South China Sea and say it's under your control. That's not going to fly. And you have to also, as investors, we can get smacked on the back of the head with a baseball bat sometimes by international events. So this is where, the name of the channel is Money in Politics Now. And like I said, I probably already talked more about it than I intended to, but I know a lot of people just don't follow the news much. They certainly don't follow international news, and we just don't get, as Americans, the kind of coverage of international issues that we should. So I wanted to mention that. Anyway, I think right now, let's keep it on a good note that we got some good news coming out of HUMBL. I would encourage you, if you can afford to, buy some shares. And remember what I said, you can have your core holding that you hold on to for 5 years or longer. You can have some other shares that you buy for trading, buying on the dips and selling as they go up. And you can kind of see that as we go through this. If you had bought, before, and it was over there at September 1, I think it was, and 70 something cents, and you get that going up. You're going to see some choppiness here, folks, off and on over the next year. But I don't know how much longer we're going to see HUMBL be below $1. I think we're going to, be closing out. We've got July, August, and now here we are halfway through September. We're in the third quarter. So coming up in roughly a month, maybe 5 or 6 weeks, we're going to get the third quarter earnings. We're going to start to see what impact this NFT gallery had, what today's news with the tickets is doing. So things are starting to roll on the HUMBL train, and I think that that's all to the positive. So I will say for now, folks, thanks so much for watching. Again, sorry that I was so long in not putting up a video. But again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you would, I wanted to say this, let me know, what do you look forward to seeing in Nashville if you're going? So why don't you tell me, are you going to Nashville? I hope to see and meet as many of you as I can. And I know I'll be going to the Acme bar on the river in Nashville Friday night. Thomas and I will be there. We'll hope to see as many of you. And then our schedule is kind of loosey-goosey. We're open to doing things with whoever wants to do certain things. So let's hopefully we'll meet up then. If you're not going to Nashville, there are going to be some live feeds that HUMBL is going to be producing. And I think I'll do some interviews from there to also augment some of my programming as I come back from Nashville. In the meantime, have a wonderful evening, folks, and we'll hopefully see you very soon. Take care.